I mean, truly, let's start off the day with really connecting with people here. And just for fun, when we hug someone, can we hug them on the heart side so that we connect with our hearts? So if you didn't hug somebody on the heart side, hug another person so that your hearts are connected. All right, that's a great way to start our day. Okay, I have the privilege of being able to present to you today about people and animals. So how many in this room have animals? How many people have little animals? Like I know we have a lot of horse people in here, but a lot of people with cats and dogs. And what's the most unusual pet that we have in the room? Does somebody have something that's like just, you have a deer pet? Peacocks and goats. Okay, that's a little bit unusual. Anyone else have something really unusual? You have a snake. Wow. Never quite understood that one, but I love it. I love it. But this is the thing for me. This will be the first time I've spoken since I've lost my husband. I've kind of been a little bit in a place of a sabbatical. But I thought how important it is, because people that love animals are the best people in the world. Like I can look and I can be with people that have never been raised with an animal, and they just don't seem to even have the compassion in life that people with animals. And I look at life and I think, okay, well, dogs teach us to be compassionate, right? They teach us universal love, right? I love the sneezes in the room. That's a yes to what's being said. And what do cats teach us? How to be independent, right? Deers are in the animal world of totems through the Native Americans. When a deer comes into your life, it's for you to be gentle on yourself. So the fascinating thing about animals, when an animal crosses your path, all animals have a meaning, and they have an internal meaning. And you can Google that up sometimes just to look at totems to see what that means today that this animal came into your life. And it's just an opportunity to look at the universe giving you wisdom in that sense. So love that. So I have a lot of little bulldogs in this presentation because I have an English bulldog. And she is my love, little Bentley. And I got to tell you, I just don't know what I'd do without her at this time in my life. She's just really, really dear to me. So today I get to talk to you about rapport. So the power of influence is the most important skill that you can master. And it can literally give you the power to shape your destiny and alter the quality of your life for yourself or anybody you really care about. Let me ask you a question. How many of you are in business? How many of you are in a business where you have to talk to people? Was that like every hand or not? So how many of you think you're really good at that? One person in the back room. Okay. The reason why I share this with you is because a lot of times we're living in a very interesting world, would you say today? And the world has shifted into a place of a lot of social media. And a lot of people feel like they just don't know what's going on with the social media. They don't know how to fit into that social media. Would anybody in the room raise your hand that maybe you're one of these people that is struggling with the social media? Well, actually, that's really the majority of the room. But do you really feel like, I just don't know how to connect with these people? And do you notice that people are connecting and then they're disconnecting just as quickly as they came in? And you think, okay, what happened? Where was the gap here, right? Well, I'm going to share with you, when you look at the planet, you look at the globe, you look at the fundamentals of life. Fundamentals of life. And somehow in the world, we're complicating everything. And I'm going to tell you, if you go back to just the fundamentals with your business, whatever business you're in, and one of the fundamentals is communication and rapport. And if you can master this, you will succeed, truly. And beyond just succeeding financially in life, I believe that you will succeed emotionally and spiritually in life. Because I believe that there's more to life than just money and what we're doing, that we're here for sole purpose. And each and every one of us have a gift. And some of these gifts may be creating a device that can help people. I mean, that may be just, that's your gift of what you came in here to do. So now, how do you do that? Well, you're going to have to get really articulate in how you open up and you share this information with people. And we've had great presentations in here. Some have been very emotional and some have been very scientific. But guess what? Are some of you into the science? Some of you are. All your decisions are going to be made when they're made from an emotional place. So I'm going to share with you, even when you go into the scientific and you go into all of the information, if you don't move somebody into a place of their heart, they're not going to do anything. So it's like, how do we master that? Well, how you master that is you have to go into their world. You have to go into their world. For one moment, you have to go into their world and you've got to see what is their needs. I've got to put on their shoes. I've got to change my perception into going into their world for a minute and see what's creating pain in their life. So I'm going to give you some tools today on how we do that. And you've got to go into their world. If you've got a visual person that sees their whole world, they have to see it. And all you're doing is talking. Do you think you're connecting with them? If you've got a person that talks really slow and you're talking really fast, do you think you're connecting with them? No, because people like people that are like them. So if I'm a slow talker and I'm with slow talkers, guess what I got to do? I got to slow down. I'm from the South, so that's easy for me to do. Simple little things. Simple little things. Our businesses are very simple. They truly are. Well, actually, they're really simple in the foundations of businesses. But guess what? They're not easy because you have to do something. And I have been with great people in my life all over the world, with great mentors. And I am amazed how when people get into a traumatic place in their life, how they forget the simple things. Just the simple little things that we were doing. You know, I had a dear friend that was very ill, and I went to visit. And they were a great healer, did all kinds of modalities. And they were, they followed a lot of Edgar Cayce stuff. And I may just, this is so off track, but some of you may have never heard of Edgar Cayce, but he was considered a sleeping prophet. You know, he was a guy that could go into a trance and he could look into your body and he could tell everything that was going on. He didn't need a machine. He just went into a trance and he did that. And, back then, when he was around, hydrotherapy was really big, you know, when Theodore Roosevelt, and you look at how all these modalities come in. And hydrotherapy was really big, and spas all over the world, your sulfur spas, your mineral water. I mean, I'm just to tell you, take a bath in that cell lake magic back there, and you're going to see interesting things happen in your body, as simple as that. So, and I went to visit in their house, and they had a great big jacuzzi tub. And guess what? They had clothes in it. And one of the biggest challenges that this woman was having was her circulatory system wasn't working at all. And I'd gone to the bathroom and I saw all of these just clothes in that tub. And I'm like, why aren't you in that tub? You know, and you know what they said to me? Oh, I didn't even think about it. And so, you know, sometimes I think in life, I'm just to remind you of your God-given gifts, your talents. You've got everything at your fingertip. I mean, what do they say? Within 5 people, we're 5 to 10 people of whoever we need to know or what we need to do. And we really do have those resources. But there's no machine that can heal you. There's no person that can heal you. We have that ability within ourselves. So I'm going to share with you how to create rapport with people. A lot of it is how to create rapport within yourself. Your body's giving off signals all the time. And those signals it's giving off are telling you something is going on. When you have pain in your body, that's just the light on your dashboard saying, pay attention inside now. PAIN, pay attention inside now. Something's going on. Pretty simple in that sense. And I'm going to share with you how to create rapport with some animals. And this is what I know. I know that all animals in a fear or anxiety or stress, from horses to anything, they let you know before they do anything aggressive. A dog, before it goes to bite you, guess what? It's already tense. It's already showing its teeth. Its hair's on end. Do you know what I mean? A cat, they'll hiss. A horse, they will move their body in a way to let you know they don't like what you're doing before they kick you. So it's like, we need to just pay attention to our environment because we're getting signals all the time. So I'm here to wake you up. Wake you up to a new way of being with people and being with animals in a way that you start to create rapport. We're going to have some fun? Well, if we're going to have fun, tell your face. Okay? Because smiling's the best thing that you could do. Truly. It's the greatest rapport that you could do. Would you rather go up to a person smiling than a person that doesn't look like they're smiling? Like, we don't want, okay, I'm not going to be with that person. What's it going to take for you to find your one? Well, you start by showing up. So you're creating relationships for life. So let's talk about the map of the world, because that's really what we need to understand here. So we're all different. No 2 people understand the same world, sentence, movement, behavior in the same way. So to understand another person from their point of view, you must be able to walk in their model of the world. So we have to look through our filters, and we're all got filters. You grew up with filters. Guess where you got them? They're like picture frames. You got them from your parents. If some of you go to a church, believe me, you got filters through your church. We've got filters through politics. We've got all these filters. And guess what? We live in a world today where, for the first time in my life, in my age, I'm in a place where I can't even have a conversation with someone and agree to disagree. So because of that, guess what? Guess what's happening for people? We're not talking. So we had this generation. Did any of you grow up, like I grew up with grandparents and parents, that it was a silent treatment? You ever grow up in your marriage where you get mad at each other and you just don't talk? And then we came into a generation where, okay, you got to talk, and through therapy and this and that, right? And now we've got children that feel they can tell us any and everything, things we do not really even want to know, right? Way too much information, right? And all of a sudden, we're now in a generation where it's not even safe to talk. I mean, I have one of my top leaders that we are very politically different. Describe something in great detail. But guess what? The majority of people in the world are visual. That's why, believe it or not, to do a great presentation, you need a PowerPoint. Because people are drawn to it. But guess what? I'm going to just share something. The greatest PowerPoints are just pictures. I'm not going to put up a bunch of PowerPoints and read to you what's on that PowerPoint. I think you're very intelligent people. I think you can do what's going on. So they talk through us through their tail, their eyes, their ears, their face, and their stance. The tail's one of the easiest communication methods to look at for is when a dog's tail is lowered but still wagging, it can mean that they are playful, excited, or that they know you are the one in charge. If they're lowered their tail and wagging slowly, it could be that they are waiting for you to tell them what to do, so that they understand what is currently happening. The tail is raised, but trimmers your dog's challenge. So if you're willing to do what they're willing to do, you will have what they have. And it's really just opening up and looking, feeling, really being aware of how people are responding to you and how our animals are responding to you. So skills are doing, but the character is your being, and that's your values and who you are. And we lead with our character. I'd rather have a person of good character with no skills, because all skills can be taught. Okay. And this is, we're getting at the very end here. It's not moving at all. So these are like simple questions to ask when you're creating rapport with people. Ask about their family, their occupation, their recreation, and how they're going about that. Simple little things. These are all in the book. But what I find is attitude is everything. Your attitude means more than anything else in the world. Wow, this is not working at all. So, well, I think that is the very end. I think there's one more slide. I have a little Rapport book over there, and I'm just going to share with you that book. It's the last print of it. LSP printed that book. I have about 20 books over there. That's all I have. I don't know what's going to happen with that book. So they're $10. If you'd like one, get it, because I don't know what's going to happen at that point. At that point, the way that book is now will not be. That was the last printing of it. And all of what I talked about is in great detail in that book from Rapport, with even more detail. And the charts are in that book that you could put by your phone. So with all my heart, if you're interested in a little bit of face reading, I won't take any more time for that. But if you're interested in that, just come see me. I'm here till the end of this conference. I love all of you and appreciate you all very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lord, that she's back.
That I'm done.
I mean to tell you, she and her element on that stage and helping us. Oh, it's such a blessing. And anyway, I can't say enough about every single time she shared with us and her energy and her love for each and every one of us. Such a blessing. Thank you so much for being with us. Okay, we're not taking a break. We're going right through. And Dr. Nancy has a workshop.